Hi everyone, this is Nora. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm here with a couple of updates. I think a lot of good things are going on in my planner stack and journals here. I kind of actually don't have a planner stack. I may have one, but for now, I kind of have a little journal stack because I am using these two notebooks. This in here is the Pocket Plus notebook from Aesthetic Paper Co., which I am loving, with a very small grid here. Love it. Undated, and I'm using the Aesthetic Paper Co. bookmarker here to just kind of know where I am. Putting just very minimal stickers here throughout this little notebook. And I do not journal in here every day. This is specifically for my wellness, and so sometimes I'm not feeling well. I've been having a lot of tummy issues, so I've just been writing some of those symptoms and maybe some foods that are triggering that. I really haven't added much deco or anything here because I just want this to be a functional journal for me. This is the Pocket Desk Agenda from Louis Vuitton that I have previously shared. And I also talked about these cards. These are from Noted Co. And this little magnetic pin, whenever you see something like this on my planners, this is not something that I actually pin through the leather. This one is from Color Cafe with a K, Color Cafe, and I love it. And moving on to my next journal, this is in the Paul MM, also in the monogram. I love opening this, and I previously shared how I always take the Stalogy 365 out of my notebook to write on it. I love writing on a flat surface, so I don't want anything getting in the way or a cover or anything. And this journal has been mostly, well, I've been writing in it every single day. I have been using some different stickers here to just add a little bit of deco, not a lot of stickers. And as you can see, it's been very well used every day since December 25th. And it's become definitely a habit for me. I have right here some stickers I'm going to use. These are the February ones because I already put the January ones, the rest of January, in this journal. And so here are my February stickers. I got these from Amazon. And here is another magnetic pin. This one is from Aesthetic Paper Co., the fountain pen one. I love having these pins. I just showed you this one here from Color Cafe. I love the gold outline of it because I'm totally a gold girl. A lot of my jewelry is gold. Everything, a lot of what I use is gold, and that's why I think I gravitate towards the monogram because I really love the color, the contrast with the dark brown of the design. And so yeah, this has been a total success. I'm glad that these have worked for me so well so far. And then moving on here, this is my main planner. This is the MM size, meaning this is personal size rings. And I've been just enjoying this to a certain degree, meaning the size. There was a moment in January that I was very tempted to go back into A5 rings. And I stopped myself because I know that I've been using the GM, the A5 ring agenda, for 2 years, and even the year before, the 2 past years, I dabbled a lot in it. It was more like an extension planner, and I would kind of jump in, jump out when I was trying to juggle the MM and the GM. But this year I said to myself, enough. I have really given my GM, my A5 ring agenda, a lot of love, and it is time to use something else. Plus, I've been really craving something a little bit smaller, something a little bit more portable. And the MM was an agenda that I used previously, previous to the past 2 years, about 3 years ago, pretty much. I used this agenda and I really enjoyed it. I was using a different insert, which was a weekly hourly at the time, and they worked very well. However, that's the biggest problem I've been having in this agenda. I ended up purchasing some inserts that they were a week on 4 pages, and I didn't end up using the last 2 pages. After a while, I was only using the first 2, which would be these 2. This is when I stopped using these inserts. Let me go back to one where I was using it. So here's this, for example. I used it a lot, and things were getting very cluttered because I didn't like writing here. I felt that I didn't have enough space to write from left to right. And so I didn't use these after a while. I started using them in the beginning, right? But I just didn't really care for it. I didn't care for the tracker that's here because I have a tracker section in my planner, and I will just link a video below so that you can see kind of like the walkthrough of my my personal ring agenda here. And even these sections here were just a little bit too tight for me as well, like meaning I just didn't have enough space. It felt just very crowded. My handwriting, I can write small, but for some reason, I just didn't care for this type of layout, meaning the last 2 pages of the week on 4 pages. The first 2 pages, these 2 worked very well. But then I kind of felt like I want something different, and maybe that will help me to enjoy my personal rings a little bit more. I have been using these monthlies here in a very, very minimal way. This is a month on 2 pages, back to back from Infinite Lotus. And I'm still going back and forth if I should add some more writing on here and not just on the sidebar here. So I'll think about it. By the way, this magnetic pin is also from Aesthetic Paper Co. And unfortunately, I do believe that it is sold out. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm glad I was able to get one while they were available. And then here I did switch into the new inserts. So first I will show you what they look like for the weekly. I ended up going with a week on 2 pages, and I'm hoping that these are going to work for me. They're new, right? Because I'm used to, when I was in the GM and the A5 ring agenda, I was always using a weekly hourly, although these are half-hour slots. There's still, you know, this whole vertical view here. And I got really accustomed to that. Unfortunately, when it comes to personal size, I just can't. I just feel like the space isn't quite there. And I know an option would be FCC on the Franklin Covey size, but I'm not ready to start a whole new setup when I have these beautiful dashboards, right? I have all this all set up, and I do like having a pen and the pen loop and the side tabs as well. If I would use FCC, I would not be able to do that. I would only be able to use top tabs. So I have not gone in that direction. I decided, nope, I'm not going there. And so I went with these here. I do snip all of my inserts so that I can take them out easily like this. And I always write on a flat surface when I have to write my plans or whatever else I want to jot down. So that to me, although it works as a disc system, it is, of course, a ring agenda. I'm just not, for some reason, at the point in my life where I can gravitate toward discs. I love having this ring agenda that has a closure, and I just feel like my papers, all my information is just a little bit more protected in this type of system. And so I've been just continuing with rings. I think that's one thing that I have where I've been able to show consistency, is that I'm always in some kind of ring agenda. Unless I'm going to journal, then yes, I would use a book bound. But I think I have continuously just gravitated towards the flexibility that I have in a ring agenda. Okay, so let's look at these inserts. Pretty much here, I still feel like I'll show you my how I used mine, but there is a spot here for this week, and I sometimes use the whole space, even though it's one sentence. It carries over to the second and third line, and that's fine with me. It is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then you have Thursday, Friday here, Saturday, and Sunday. And honestly, when I first started using them, I didn't realize that until I was writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And for some reason, I was thinking this was Friday. So I kind of made a couple of errors, and you might see the whiteout when I show some of the previous inserts. I did back plan, so I ended up just looking for the most important information from these here and transferring that over, migrating it over to this type of layout. And then following at the bottom, you have notes, which I really love because I really enjoyed writing what I was sharing over on Instagram here. And since I only share on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, that was a perfect space to use this space here to jot those things down. And I continue to do that as the weeks progress. And it came to the point where that was the only thing I was writing down on the last 2 pages for the week on 4 pages. And I just felt like these are great inserts, but I just feel like for me, I needed more space, and this space was just not being used at all after a while. And so here I will show you that I write that down here. I write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and when I'm sharing on social media. and then I write what I have next week. And that is something that I did miss in these other inserts, because I know that there is a space for notes right here, but I just didn't want to combine that. I love that this is separated, where I can write what I'm sharing on Instagram here, and then next week what I have going on. So this has been working really well. Another thing that I had to think about was, okay, I always write what we have for dinner here, so I needed to make sure that I had a spot here for that, and I did find one, and I'll share that in a minute. And I think the biggest issue was that after a while, I didn't feel like I had a lot of breathing room here, meaning not a lot of white space. Everything was really used up because I was also writing like my to-do list on here. So for example, I have here my Christmas reset. You know, I had to put away ornaments, some decorations, a wreath, etc. Right? And so that list was going on here. And that's why this just seems in a way very cluttered. There isn't a lot of white space here. And then I was using these stickers, which I love using the stickers. And that is something that I've been thinking about. Yes, I love deco stickers, but I sometimes feel like I need something a little bit more functional. I felt that these inserts, or I should say stickers, that are a little bit more functional. And so I felt that these inserts would provide that. And I don't know if I'll be able to use a lot of my stickers here, because I feel like this just really gives you the space that you need to write down your plans, the most important items. And of course, I love that there is a running to-do list here on the far left side, and I love checking things off. So this was perfect for me. I felt that this was a space that I could use to really make a separation of a running to-do list and then items that are day specific here. All right, so let me show you how I ended up using them. The week that I'm going to share with you is actually the one I just referenced, where I had my Christmas reset here. So I can kind of show you what I ended up doing with these items that I didn't have a lot of space to write them down here, but here I do feel like I have a little bit more breathable space. But first, I'm just going to go through all of it. So one of the main things that I had for this particular week was to prep for the spring semester. Some priorities were YouTube filming, the Christmas reset, and feeding our pet. And here's where I was able to write the list of the items that I just showed you over here. So for example, the ornaments, the deco, the wreath, etc. I listed them all here. And then some items here are time specific and other are not. I just wanted to keep track of when I was going to the gym, when it's a hair day for my daughter and myself. I ended up putting all of the dinners here at the bottom of each of the days, Monday through Friday. I haven't done that for Saturday and Sunday. We either have leftovers or we go out and grab a bite to eat. And for this week, I didn't have anything that was specifically timed. So I just kind of wrote like my top things to do for that particular day. Over here, I was able to write all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, what I was going to post over on Instagram and what's coming up for the next week. And that is definitely something that I liked, having that separation here, because I didn't have a space to write what was coming up for next week. I didn't want to combine these two items over here. So I kind of felt like, again, I just wasn't using the space the way I could have used it here. And I do feel that so far, since I have received these inserts, I feel that I've been using them in a more functional way. And my eyes, well, and that's the thing. I want to see if I use icons and other stickers to highlight certain items so that then my eye can go to that particular item that I need to remember, or that particular appointment. And then the next week over here, I felt really good using them. I did have some time-specific items. So for example, my boys had their haircuts. So I wrote that down there. And I continued to kind of experiment. And yeah, these worked really well for me. I'm very excited about these. And then this is my current week. This is where I am at the moment. The main highlight for this week would be my daughter's birthday. She's turning 5 years old. So we want to make sure that we take snacks and that we're going to have a very small little party. And so we want to make sure that we are prepared by getting the plates. And a big item that we wanted to get for her was a big girl bed. She went from her crib that converted into a toddler bed. And now we are very excited that she's ready for her big girl bed. We're just going to get a twin size bed. Actually, we already got it. And one of the big things was making sure that her room was ready for that, that it had a very thorough cleaning in there, that I did that and I was able to do that. And then just some other items here that I needed to get done. Most of them are errands. And so for a day specific, for example, she is going to have an appointment this week. And so I was able to write that down. And yeah, overall, I've been able to write the dinners here. I have my little sticky note flags here that I can move around wherever I need to move them in order to kind of pre-plan. And then finally, when something is a little bit more set in stone, then I can write it down with a pen. Have a couple more here. Yes, very much enjoying them, but I'm still kind of debating. As I said, I was in A5 rings for so long that then going into personal rings, it just doesn't feel like I'm getting a lot of space. And also I'm so used to more of like a square insert, if that makes any sense. And the narrow inserts, it's been quite a change. Even for the monthlies, I think that's partly why I'm so hesitant to write in these monthlies. And I'm kind of going in this very minimal direction where I'm just using these little labels here and just writing things here on the sidebar here, instead of going all in and just writing the items I need to write down. So that is something that I'm observing, and I'm going to continue to see how I feel in this particular size. I did share a previous video of my setup of this agenda, which I can link below, but everything else has remained the same. I'm still going very strong in my trackers for sleep and for steps. And I still have everything just as I shared. The habits, every single day I am using them. Mood tracker as well, and weekly. I did take out my reading insert and my budget one because or tracker I should say, I just haven't been using them, to tell you the truth. So I just figured, let me just have what I need in this agenda and not have additional inserts that I'm not even using. As far as my wellness goals, these are still here. I haven't filled this out, so I'm still debating if I'm going to keep this or not. And I did write down my intentions, which I shared previously. I'm very excited that I did start doing this. And then over here, moving on to my monthly wins, I do have to go back and just sit down and write down a couple of wins for the month of January. And again, this feels so narrow though when I compare this to the A5 rings, but I did tell myself I'm not going back to my A5 rings. I've been in that agenda for quite a while, and while it does work, I still want something that's going to be more portable that I can just stick in my handbag and off I go. Now, I've tried the pocket and it just wasn't, I just didn't want to keep replicating things here and there. And so I feel like as time goes by, I kind of gravitate more towards one planner, even if that means combining work and personal life. But it is what it is. And I know I did try it. I did experiment with something that I was using for work, and I just ended up going back in here, to tell you the truth. And so if I do change, I feel that I will have everything in one planner, but maybe a different size. As I said, I tried pocket. It feels a little bit small. I'm still debating if maybe A6 would work for me. I'm kind of looking at the pros and the cons. And then over here, I have what I consider just like a highlight of the day. And so I'm doing this every single day, just reminiscing on something that happened and jotting it down over here. I think this is great because then if there's for some reason a day that I do not journal my B6 Stalogy, then I can always write down one line here and then go back and catch up by looking at that particular line that I wrote there. And then, of course, writing a journal entry for that day that I didn't get a chance to journal. So this has been going very well. The only thing is I'm thinking about removing the additional ones because I have January and February here, and perhaps taking out March all the way to December, and then adding more weeklies in here. And that's the other thing I'm going to say about these weeklies, these week on 2 pages. I'm enjoying them because before, when it was 4 pages, just 1 month, it was quite a stack. So that was a lot of paper. And so now that I am on a week on 2 pages, I think this is working better. And now I can add more weeklies in here instead of just a month of January and February. But as I said, I'm thinking about taking out some of these inserts here just so that I maybe could add, I don't know how many inserts or how many additional months I can add for the weeklies, but I definitely want to make sure I have those there. So I would potentially take this out. We'll see. And then the last section here is just for my sermon notes that I've been taking for church. And this has actually been working very well. So I've been able to fill these in, and I love that these are of course undated, so just in case I miss a Sunday or something, right? And overall, these are just very flexible. You can use these for whatever other notes, so I'm glad that I have that there. And of course, everything in the end is still the same as I shared in the last setup video for my personal ring agenda. Same thing with all the deco here on the front. And the last thing I want to share with you is the giveaway that I am doing for the month of February. So this giveaway will close on Friday, January 31st. The goal is to get this to the person once I announce the giveaway winner on Friday, and that way they can have it by Valentine's Day. This personal ring agenda with gold hardware is from Christina Loves Planning. There's ample space to store receipts and other things. I think this would be a great planner for on the go. There's also a pocket in the back here, and definitely a lot of credit card pockets here as well. So that is part of the giveaway. And in addition to that, since I am giving this agenda away, then of course I have inserts. I have several dashboards as well, because these are all, many of them I should say, are from the Infinite Lotus sub box. And I have so many dashboards, and I figured let me include this in the giveaway and help someone set themselves up. So I have this dashboard which says Dream here, with this other one as well. I'm just kind of going quickly through them. And some of these are really nice because they have backs to them. Not all of them, but some of them do. And then some inserts as well. I have these inserts. This would be for your to-do list. Of course, back to back, personal size. Then these would be the finance ones, or the budget ones. This is a budget calendar. I actually only took part of it out, but you would see the entire calendar, and this is kind of how they would look back to back. So you would get a little monthly for your budgeting here. And then there's also a weekly, and they look like this. You'll have grid here, and then your week here on one page, but ample space here for whatever running to-do list you would like to add here, or anything else, notes, etc. And these are undated. All of these dashboards and inserts that I just showed you are from Infinite Lotus, and these two at the end are from Rosie Papa 3. These are just grid notes, a really small grid, really cute, 30 pages there. And then also this would be your list and grid, so that you have your grid at the bottom and a little space to just check off whatever items you've completed. So that's why it's called a list and a grid with one. So these are all the items included in the giveaway. Just make sure that you like this video, that you are subscribed, and that you comment below done. It's very simple to enter the giveaway. And I am still only doing a giveaway for anyone who has a mailing address in the United States. I will also write the requirements to enter the giveaway down below in case I missed anything. But definitely keep checking to see if you are the winner, because I will reply to your comment down below. And of course, I will keep you posted on any other changes that I make in regards to my planner. At least for now, I know that I have a lot of peace when it comes to my journals, because I don't see these two changing. I'm completely head over heels with these two, but I'm still not quite settled in my personal ring agenda, mostly because of the space. It just feels a little bit narrow. Either way, though, I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Thanks again.